Yes, here at Mestio.
The room is full. So many desks, so many positions for people. So in addition to the distinguished guests that I've mentioned, those who have given us the opening remarks, the CAF, the governments, and the federations, who else is going to be attending this meeting?
Well, we have some very key important members of this project. We have government officials. We have the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Education and Sports, who is also an ex-official on the LOC. We have members from the Attorney General's office as well. We have, of course, the ministers from the various other countries, and critical individuals in all the three countries, including Uganda, of course, who are hosting this event, who are going to be the pushers of everything that we want to do as East Africa to deliver Pamoja, because we want to get it right. And the reason why CAF are here is to ensure that we are all pushing in the same direction towards a successful execution of Pamoja 2027.
What are some of the things that they're going to be discussing? It's a full room, lots and lots of the who is who in Ugandan football, in Kenyan football, Tanzanian football, together as Pamoja. Then, of course, at the federation and the rest of the continent. But what's going to be the objective? What's going to be top of that discussion?
I don't want to preempt what is going to Kenya, to Tanzania, and Uganda. So infrastructure is key, as well as several other operational issues regarding communications, branding, signage, security, and so forth. So it is basically the most critical parts of organizing this tournament. CAF are masters of organizing this event. It's their event. They've done it for years on end. So you've got the head of CAF security who is here. You've got the head of infrastructure at CAF who is here. You've got the head of communications at CAF, Mr. Laxolo September, who is here, and many others, because they're going to tell us the do's and the don'ts, and they'll assess where we are and where we should be and where we're destined. So I'm confident that after the 2 days, Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda will be in a much better place. Remember, AFCON is effectively maybe 14 or so months away, AFCON 2027, and that may look so far away, but it's quite near, because there's a lot of work which has got to be done in so short a period, and we can't afford to slacken, and neither can we be complacent, because we want to get it right.
CAF is here to check on progress. CAF is here to assess how the three countries can get ready for the Africa Cup of Nations, which is a bit of a relief to then the feedback that we had been getting on the readiness of the facilities.
Listen, as Ugandans, we must push in the same direction. This is a historic moment for us. Never before international activities, with all due respect to them, because we're dealing with basically the entire world, which will be coming to East Africa. Not Africa, the entire world. You're going to get people will be flying in from the US, people will be flying in from Europe, people will be flying from Australia to come and partake in the football carnival, to come and see what Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania have got to offer. So when I saw people magnifying what I would call a mall, in terms of that CAF report, it was unfortunate, because, of course, most of it was informed out of... Uganda is doing well. We are not in a very, very worrying state. Certainly I was in Gabon 2017, and we were in Bitam for the third place game between Uganda and Mali. That game ended 1-1, if you remember, Farouk Meyer's equalizer. But that place, there's nothing. Bitam, Hoima as it is today, is better than the Bitam in 2017. So the essence of the report is to ensure that, and it was a report which poked holes in terms of the organizational state. For me, this physical support, they'll give their input to ensure that at the end of the day, Pamoja is what we set out to do when CAF gave us the hosting rights in 2023. And I think together with the support of Dr. Patrice Motsepe, with Samson Adamu, and the CAF delegation here, together with the support of the government, I think Pamoja is going to be a success, because CAF wanted to be successful.
It's a pleasure to speak to you, Mr. Mark, and hopefully the deliberations to another member of the AFCON Secretariat, and that is Rogers Mulindwa. Good morning, sir. I would like to correct my introduction of yourself.
Because I'm not a member of the AFCON and I'm the vice chairperson. The markers are members of the secretariat, okay? But me, I'm not.
My apologies, sir. Mr. Vice Chairperson, we are live on NBS Sports 11 at 11 News Bulletin.
Yeah.
Two things that I note from the opening remarks in this kick-off meeting. First is that CAF have mentioned that they are excited to be here in this meeting and they are looking forward to
about 3 AFCONs. I was in charge of media when we were in Equatorial Guinea, in the Bebein city. When you look at the levels of preparations where we are and compare that to some other countries, I think we are not doing badly. The biggest success we have pulled off as the 3 countries of Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda is the commitment from the government. In many countries, the central governments tend to lag behind and leave the federations to be at the front. Here, the governments are at the front and we are working together. Automatically, CHAN is far smaller. CHAN is far smaller than what AFCON is. AFCON is a very big event. It's the biggest continental event here. Almost everything triples from what you had from CHAN when you compare it to AFCON. In terms of the teams, in terms of the expected guests or spectators here, in terms of the matches that are going to be played, in terms of, everything. And the standards and the requirements are also totally different. So this kind of arrangement for us to come and sit as a family of Pamoja is a very good gesture. That we cannot be working in isolation as Uganda or Kenya or Tanzania. But when we sit together, we share the experiences. We get to understand how far we are in Uganda, what is Kenya doing that is so special that we need to maybe keep an eye there. Where does Kenya need some help? Where does Uganda need some support? So this is the kind of thing we need. When we do that, at the end of the day, we shall pull off a successful event as a region and not as individual countries. We are happy to learn. We are yet to hear whether this is going to be mentioned here, that our CHAN was the best organized event since the CHAN started. So if that's true, then we also want to write another history that the best or the most well-organized AFCON is the Pamoja AFCON. That's what we are looking at.
You've been, just like you mentioned, at many AFCONs, and not just as a spectator, but as a key part.
As a guarantee fee, you are paying 30. That's one. But also, it gives an advantage to our fans, the spectators that are traveling from the rest of Africa, that you will be able to see what happens in Uganda as a part of Africa, but you also fly to Kenya, you'll see what is in Kenya, you'll go to Tanzania. And when we say we are working on the visa-free arrangement, so that when you are in Kenya, you don't need a visa into Tanzania or into Uganda. So our fans are going to enjoy this. It's really a new kind of thing on African football, but I'm 100% sure that our spectators are going to find something very interesting. Many countries that thought they were not big enough, the levels of Nigeria or Ghana or Morocco, to hold this AFCON event. Now,
for now, on 11 at 11, I would like us to take a quick break now. When we return, more updates for you from the world of sport, local and international.